Pakatan Harapan respects and accepts Rakyat's choice as BN reclaims Tanjung Piai. Good afternoon, I'm Cynthia Arthur. You're watching News on 2. Barisan Nasional BN has reclaimed the Tanjung Piai parliamentary seat from the ruling alliance Pakatan Harapan PH after its candidate Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Jek Seng won the six-cornered by-election yesterday with 15,086 vote majority. The official results were announced by Tanjung Piai by-election returning officer Zulkifli Muhammad Tahir at 9:16 p.m. at Dewan Jubli Intan Sultan Ibrahim in Pontian, Johor. The former two-term Tanjung Piai Member of Parliament polled 25,466 votes against the 10,380 garnered by his closest contender, Carmaine Sardini of PH. Four other candidates lost their deposits for securing less than 1/8 or 12.5% of the total votes. Gerakan's Wendy Subramaniam managed to get only 1,707 votes, followed by Dato Dr. Badrul Hisham Abdul Aziz of Berjasa, 850, and two independents, Dr. Ang Chuan Lok, 380, and Farida Aryani Abdul Ghaffar, 32. Meanwhile, Pakatan Harapan PH respects and accepts the voters' decision in the Johor Tanjung Piai parliamentary by-election. Its president, Dato Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, said PH should try to improve all weaknesses and learn lessons from its loss in the by-election.
We respect the choice of the voters and we accept. And then if there are any we thinking about our own, kalau ada shortcomings, kalau ada kekurangan, kita akan cuba memperbaiki. Memang ini adalah keputusan daripada rakyat, kita terima lah.
The PH president said this after opening the Malaysia Deepavali Open House 2019 last night in Ipoh, Perak. Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah was asked to comment on the results of the Tanjung Piai parliamentary by-election, which was called following the death of incumbent Datuk Dr. Mat Farid Mat Rafiq, PH, on the 21st of September due to heart complications. Meanwhile, Johor Pakatan Harapan accepts the results of the Tanjung Piai parliamentary seat by-election and considers it a signal from the electorate that must be seriously heeded by the party. Its chairman, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, in a joint statement with members of the Johor PH leadership, said PH needs to go back to the drawing board and review the policies, approach and performances of the party and the government that has led to a sense of dissatisfaction from the Rakyat. Johor PKR Chairman Syed Ibrahim Syed Noh, Johor Parti Amanah Negara Amanah, Chairman Aminul Huda Hassan, Johor DAP Chairman Senator Liu Chin Tong, and Johor Bersatu Chairman Mazlan Bujang were the other signatories of the statement. Johor PH also thanked the party election machinery for their hard work and high level of commitment shown through the by-election campaign. Meanwhile, PKR President Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim described the loss as a clear message from the Rakyat to the PH government. Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh Deo says the government's effort through the implementation of the National Fiberization and Connectivity Plan (NFCP) was like building a digital highway that brought development and economic prosperity to the rural people. He said through the NFCP, those living in rural and remote areas will obtain digital infrastructure like in the urban areas, which would allow them to enjoy mutual prosperity through the digital economy.
Ini adalah tumpuan yang kita berikan dalam kementerian saya. Jadi tak kira kita ini dari golongan mana, dari bandar ke daripada luar bandar terpencil. Tapi kita kena cari jalan bagaimana kita boleh pastikan bahawa semua mempunyai akses kepada internet.
The minister said this after the launching of the Anjung Gapam Digital House in Jasin, Melaka. Gobind added that the rapid development of the internet has led it to become as important as the other basic facilities, such as water and electricity, and even this needs the internet to be managed. Thus, he wants every citizen in this country to have access to the internet. The Malaysian Employers Federation MEF has been urged to reconsider the decision to only grant paternity leave for 3 days instead of 7 days to husbands whose wives have given birth. Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail says the granting of paternity leave was to enable the employers and workers to achieve a win-win situation between one another.
Bagaimana kita nak mengikut syur apa yang kerajaan telah katakan, kalau 7 hari itu eloklah untuk bapa-bapa ni mendapat cuti.
The Deputy Premier, who is also the Women, Family and Community Development Minister, said this after officiating the closing ceremony of the 2019 Perak International Expo, PX 2019, in Ipoh, Perak. He said this when commenting further on the MEF statement that only agreed 3 days be given as paternity leave for husbands working in the private sector and not 7 days as suggested by the federal government. Last Wednesday, Human Resource Minister M. Kulasegaran said that he planned to present the application for paternity leave to the cabinet because for the past 62 years, paternity had not been given attention and it was an initial move for better changes. We begin with local sports. The Football Association of Malaysia, FAM, wants to make football a unifying factor once again by encouraging strong multiracial participation in the local game, just like how it had been during its glory days. FAM President Dato Hamidin Muhammad Amin said football has always been the agent of unity in the nation-building process, citing how the national teams from the 1950s to 90s era always seemed to have a multiracial composition. Commenting further, Dato' Hamidin said, with the cooperation of parents from the Chinese and non-Malay community in general, it is possible to bring back the multiracial composition to the team. He said at the closing ceremony of the Chinese Grassroots Football Day program held at SJKC Lai Meng in Bukit Jalil, Kuala Lumpur yesterday. His speech text was read out by FAM Executive Council member Mat Dali Wahid. The program saw participation from some 200 students aged between 6 and 12 years old, as well as 22 grassroots level coaches from 6 schools around Petaling Jaya and Puchong, Selangor. That concludes this afternoon's edition of News On2. In our top story, Pakatan Harapan respects and accepts Rakyat's choice. SBN reclaims Tanjung Piai. Join us again at 7 tonight for more updates on the latest happenings around the world. Thank you for watching. I'm Cynthia Arthur. Stay tuned to TV2.